Oh! Welcome to the channel. I'm Hayes. I talk movies all day. Sometimes I talk about games. So subscribe right now if you want to be entertained. And today it is the 6th and final episode of Loki, and what a ride it has been. Only 6 episodes and they've done so much. Last week, Sylve enchanted the beast, the smoke monster from Lost, Alive. Now we know its name, Alive. She enchanted it. They open up. We saw, the castle, or the man behind the curtain potentially, right? I know there's rumors going around. Is it Mephisto? Is it Kang the Conqueror? Who could it be? We don't know. I've heard one rumor that it could be another variant of Loki. Maybe it's one of them. Maybe it's none of them. Maybe it's something completely different. Oh, what else? Mobius going back to the TVA. We didn't get a post or mid-credit scene last week, so when he went back, it kind of like, he goes back, he's got his plan of, was he going to burn it down, but we don't really know what happened, and possibly we'll find out what happened this week. He kind of went back all just kind of casually, and, just, that was that, right? B-15, is she going to help? Is she going to be freed from her prison, sitting down like the warrior that she is? Bad gal B-15, let me put some respect on the name, Bad gal B-15, is she going to break free? Is Renslayer, she's been lied to, but I still feel like she knows more than she's letting on. I don't think she knows everything, right? But I feel like she knows more than she's letting on. But is anything going to happen there? Possibly, we'll see. And I still have my theory that Sylve's Nexus event wasn't anything that she did. It was just because of who she was and the fact that she has this ability to go into people's minds, and that's a danger to TV. And I think they knew that. Either she had it as a child, or they knew it was something that she'll develop later on, but they knew that, and they wanted to, nip that in the bud as early as possible. But of course, that didn't quite happen. So that's my theory on Sylve. Maybe we'll find it out. Maybe we won't. But in any case, enough talk, as Badlands Chugs would say. Let's press play and see what episode 6 has got to say.
You wouldn't have heard of me.
Let me put you on hold.
Dance off, bro.
Okay, they've got a new intro.
Yeah, I know.
Got sound cuts from a lot of the Marvel heroes. Are we finally going to get the multiverse confirmed? Ooh. That was Greta Thunberg. What, Greta Thunberg's a Marvel Avenger now? Okay. Oh, Malala, Nelson Mandela. Okay. There was Neil Armstrong earlier as well. I guess it's confirmed. They're all Avengers. Maya Angelou is an Avenger, confirmed. Only 6 episodes and they've done so much. I swear, these Marvel series, they do more in like 6 to 8 episodes than a lot of TV shows do in 20. I'm just saying. Maybe somebody's expecting them. What do people do in these big castles all day though? They just sit there and watch the walls? They at least have internet or something? Oh, Miss Minutes ain't the big bad, is she?
Who?
Happy reading.
So maybe Miss Minutes is a little bit more involved. Bubbles. Bubbles knows more than she's letting on. Maybe it's Mojo Jojo. Bubbles and Mojo Jojo teamed up. That's what happened. Is that Kang then? I think that might be Kang, Is that it? I think that might be Kang. I think that... Okay, well... Ooh.
Just a little bit easier to kill.
Not quite. Oh. Bad gal B-15.
We have a lot to talk about.
Judge Renslayer was a teacher. Makes sense.
He just walked down there.
They're all pawns in a game.
And
But
I
what's
have
the
the
game?
Right here.
You're of no danger to me.
Maybe she doesn't know more. She just needs to believe.
And just who are you?
Oh, I've been dubbed many names by many people.
Here we go. Ooh. A conqueror.
Discovered that there were universes stacked on top of his own.
Multiverse.
Let us decide your fate.
Yes. Take off.
It's just another lie.
But is he lying though?
Another manipulation.
I don't think he's lying. They haven't said his name yet, but I think this is Kang. Maybe not Kang the Conqueror, but this is Kang.
Is this whole thing been a con?
That's what you think of me.
Well, I mean,
After all this time.
Loki versus Loki. You can't trust and I can't be trusted. Oof. Bars. Ooh.
See you soon.
Oh, she did it. So now what happens? Sylvie got her revenge, but at what cost?
Division
What?
are you from?
What are you talking about?
Who are you?
Wait.
What's your name?
Oh! He's not in his version of reality. Oh! Oh, shit. Oh my days, oh my days. Loki will return in season 2. Okay, season 2. Loki will return. That's all it said. Loki will return in season 2. Okay, let me just gather my thoughts for a second. That was the last episode on season 1. There's a season 2 confirmed. Multiversal madness right now, so maybe season 2 doesn't happen in our reality. But I think most people was seeing that coming. They were dropping bare clues throughout the whole season about the multiverse, so that being confirmed wasn't a big surprise. But it is now confirmed multiverse, and not just that the multiverse exists, that now different versions are of people in different universes. In particular, that was Kang. Come on, they don't say the name Kang, but I feel like that was Kang. That was supposed to be Kang, but this guy who was trying to keep this timeline sacred and pure and everything else, and has some questionable tactics. Sure, certainly didn't necessarily have evil intent. It's just that moral dilemma of, okay, you could do it this way, and it's not necessarily a nice way to do it because you're lying to people, you take away their free will, but because you know that if you don't do it that way, something far worse can happen. Was he right to do it that way? I guess it's kind of like the Thanos thing. Is he right to be the person who decides that this is how it should be done and takes away people's choices? Or should he just let whatever happens? And if that's the multiverse, if that's all the different versions of him coming to kill and destroy, is that better? It's was Kang right? Man, it's going to be real interesting to see what happens next, in particular with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I think that's due out next year. But, let's just talk about this episode for the time being. It was a lot of talk and a lot of dialogue, in particular with Loki, Sylvie, and Kang. Look, I know I didn't say Kang, but I'm going to call him Kang. If I'm wrong on that, then I'm wrong. But I'm saying Kang. But I felt that for this episode, it fit. It worked with everything that happened before in the lead up to this. That dialogue was necessary because not only did it explain a lot of things what's been happening, but it also sets up, or potentially sets up, a lot what's to come. The big surprise, I think, for me was when Sylvie sends Loki back and he's sitting there, but he doesn't realize he's in the wrong timeline until we get to the end, because we're looking at Mobius and Bad Guy B-15 and they're saying, like, what does he want to do? And at that point, it's kind of an odd thing to say, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, they're maybe figuring things out. The timeline splitting up and what else. So it's like, whatever. I'm personally not thinking too much. But then when Loki comes, he's like, it's all that we met the guy he was terrifying, but there's multiple versions of this very dangerous person coming. They're like, what are you talking about? You're an analyst. And it's like, that's when, yes, that was big. So I liked the surprises. I liked the fight scene between Loki and Sylvie was pretty cool, because they're both, it's like they both want the same thing, but in different ways. And that whole thing about, can you trust the liar? Can you trust the man who's lies to you for eons? And not only that, Sylvie wanting that revenge for so long. And I guess we didn't find out what her actual Nexus event was, if indeed there was a Nexus event. I still feel like it was because of what she knew, but then maybe not. Maybe it is because, as he said, he was searching for all these people to replace him. And these were the two. So maybe that was it. Maybe that was why she was plucked, because he wrote it that way, and he wrote it so that she would escape, and he wrote it so that she would go on this journey, as he talked about. He said something like the ending doesn't mean anything without the journey. So maybe that's the why as to why Sylvie was taken, and Loki's Nexus event when he picks up the was it a Mind Stone? Was it? I don't remember the whichever one it was, but he picks up the Infinity Stone. Then what's interesting though is that before they got to Kang, Miss Minutes kind of confronted them and talked about, you could have this, you could have that. Was that like a final test? I guess, I'd have to assume, or some kind of final test. Or was it? What happens to Sylvie? What happens to Loki? Loki's in a different timeline. Sylvie just set off. I guess we technically don't know that multiple versions of Kang are coming, because he possibly could have been lying about that. But at the very least, he wasn't lying about the multiverse branching off, because that happened. We saw that happen. But are there multiple versions of Kang coming? And if so, are some of them looking for war? And is one of them looking to be a conqueror of all the different universes. That's what waits to be seen. But what I can say is that this episode, this whole series has been fantastic from the jump, from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, it's only 6 episodes, but I feel like they did so much with 6 episodes. And I like the fact that 6 episodes, because it means it's relatively short. And I think in this day and age, when there's so much choice when it comes to TV shows, there's streaming and this, that, and the other, it's difficult to get into something that is, 15, 20 episodes long and, 40 something minutes per episode. So something that's, 40 minutes per episode, 6 episodes. I like that, and I hope that's something that continues. I heard that was a lot due to the pandemic, and they had to cut things down short because of that. But personally, I feel like the 6-episode seasons work. Shorter seasons work, where you can get everything you need to do in a short amount of time. It means you've got more killer, less filler. And I think that's what WandaVision did. That's what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier did. And now that's what Loki did. And they've all been fantastic. This one, I feel, is probably the one that links most to the movies, I think. I put up a Black Widow review already, so yeah, there's something about Falcon and Winter Soldier in there as well. I feel like this is what leaded, at least for the first set of movies. I mean, these things go for like 20 or whatever movies going to do over a 10-year period. But I feel like for at least the first, maybe like 4 or 5 movies, this whole multiverse thing is what's going to be the big thing. And, well, a lot waits to be seen. A lot waits to be seen. Right now, what they did was incredible. Clearly, I liked it. Clearly, I liked it. I think that much is obvious. I liked it. But that's what I think of Loki episode 6. And that's what I think of Loki season 1. What did you think of Loki season 1? Let me know down below. And while you're there, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a suggestion if you don't mind.